So as we get into this process, we've identified the steering committee. So the Board of County Commissioners has selected you all to represent the county as a whole. As we get into this process, we want to hear back from everyone, but as you all know, a lot of people have very differing opinions. And so we're hoping that you all can bring a pretty diverse background in how you view the future of Elbert County, how you've experienced Elbert County, and how you would like to sort of incorporate your thoughts and your community's thoughts in the future of this plan. And so when we get through this, we'll go through sort of what is a comprehensive plan, what is not a comprehensive plan, and go through what your role is in this whole process. So we'll do a quick review of the agenda for today. So we'll be doing introductions, a quick project overview, the goals and vision setting, which is really the meat of this meeting, is to really start to pinpoint some visioning aspects and goals that will help sort of lead our team throughout this process. And then we'll open it up to discussion, and then we'll sort of come back to the steering committee schedule to see if the schedule works for you all and identify times and dates for future meetings. So quick introductions. I'm going to hand it off to Jennifer to introduce the county staff, and then we'll introduce ourselves.
Hello, good evening to everyone. Thank you all for coming out tonight. We're so excited to get this project started. And so hopefully this time and date worked for everyone, and it hasn't started raining yet, so we're doing well. And we do have one of your fellow colleagues joining us all the way from Australia, so that's exciting tonight. So I'm Jennifer Jones, the CDS director here at Elbert County, and so, like I said, we'll be working with the Kimley Horn staff to help lead this project. I take that back, not to help facilitate this project, you all are leading the project. So, but we're here to try to help set up meetings and dates and coordinate rooms and things like that. So in any way we can be of help, please let us know. Also here from the CDS staff, Kelsey Lanham is here. She's a land use planner. If you've done any type of projects with us, you might have worked with Kelsey or some of the other members of our team who you may see in the future as well. Also county staff, we have Wendy. Wendy, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself because you have a lovely title, and that way you can tell everyone.
Oh my gosh. I'm Wendy Holmes. I serve you and Elbert County as the Communication and Public Affairs Director for the county. I've been here all of 4 months. I'm new to Elbert County, but not new to county government. I've done 2 other comp plans. I'm very familiar with my role, which is to support you and the community and all involved with community engagement. So that's everything from working with K&H on keeping the website updated, social media posts, news release, media relations, community outreach, working with the team to get as much information out as possible so that we can get people engaged in this process. Look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you all. And so a quick introduction on the consultant side. Like I said, my name is Blake Young. I will be acting as the project manager for this effort. And then my partner here, Inez Galmish, she is running as the deputy project manager. We are both sitting outside of downtown Denver, so a quick drive down here, but we've both worked in the town of Kiowa for, I think, coming on 3 years, so about 3 years now. Kimley Horn has also, we completed the transportation master plan for Elbert County, so that was a few years ago. And then we also have someone on our team that is acting as the county engineer. So have a lot of background, our office does, and we're just really excited about this effort. So we're gonna lean back on you all. We're going to do quick introductions. Like we said, the Board of County Commissioners identified you all, and we gave the board parameters in which they should find folks to represent them. So there were 4 categories: long-term residents, new residents, business owners, or landowners. or professionals. So with these introductions, we're going to be pressed with time. So if you could just please provide your first and last name, which one of those 5 buckets you land in, and then we'll just kind of go around the horn and kick us off. So, yep.
Yep.
Perfect.
If you all will turn on the mics as you go, just so that the folks online can hear as well.
All right, yeah, Press White, veterinarian.
Joe Pepper, third generation native of Colorado, 25 years in Elbert County, business owner, 4 businesses that I built from the ground up.
Jim Marshall, landowner, developer. Larry Gable, resident for 7 years, moved here from California.
Yeah.
No darts, please.
My name is Ken Manson. I've been a resident of Elizabeth for 4 years.
Where'd you come from?
Not California.
Tyler Dreisbach. I've been a resident here for 7 years, and I wouldn't say landowner, but also just on the business side.
Shelley Manning, been here about 2 years, 2.5 years, and third generation Colorado girl.
Steve Belcherovich, K through 12, Kiowa High School, class of 78. Mom taught school 50 years, dad rancher, third generation Elbert County resident, and governmental affairs professional.
Janine Foster. I'm a landowner in Simla. I am a 7th generation Californian. I've been in Colorado about 30 years though.
Andrea Richardson, Colorado native, realtor, work in the community with the Elizabeth Chamber for 4 years as president. And also, I've been in Elbert County since 2011.
So Kevin Kirkwood, a relative newcomer here. I've only been here for about 13 years now. I currently serve as the chair for the Planning Commission. I'm the president of my local water district. And by the way, I'm a tech professional as well, so I get to play in that space.
Awesome. Thank you all, and welcome again. Oh, yes, we will hand it off to Chris online.
Yeah, this is Chris Hatton. I'm a native Coloradoan, or nearly native Coloradoan. Been in Colorado for 61 years. Resident of Elbert County, a landowner for 22 years. Live in the northwest corner of the county, and by profession, I'm a geotechnical engineer. I'm actually calling in from Australia, so greetings from down under, and appreciate you guys putting this on Teams. It's very helpful, and it's an honor to be part of this committee. I take it very seriously and treat it as a great honor, so thank you.
Well, thank you, Chris, for joining so far away. I think you win the award for the most traveled, so thank you again. We're going to try not to get too disruptive, but as we get into discussions, I imagine it's going to get a little heated. So we'll try to excuse the folks from California, but as we get into this, we hope everyone can be just bounce ideas off of each other and hope that we keep this lively-hearted sort of environment as we go through this.
Blake, I'd just like to say I'm here because I can tell you what bad development looks like firsthand. I was 2nd generation in California, grew up there, never thought I would leave. I can tell you what, it was overdeveloped and it's a mess. It doesn't end up pretty, trust me.
Love it. Well, we're going to jump right into what is a comprehensive plan. Like I said, this is a policy document, so this is not a regulatory document. This is a guiding document for future guidance for direction on zoning, on land use. And we want to make sure that when we go through this process, we fully understand what the goals are of a comprehensive plan. We are not identifying particular parcels for redevelopment and planning it all out from start to finish. We are merely trying to set a vision that the community wants to guide us for the next 10 years. So really foundational aspects is what a comprehensive plan is all about. And so when we start to talk about implementing change and implementing desired change for the residents, we're talking about scale. We're talking about general areas in where development should or should not be, and what certain constraints you all are seeing as residents, as business owners, as landowners, and what pinch points we can sort of identify in this comp plan to help sort of guide the implementation process at the very end. You know, we've done these comprehensive plans throughout the country, and we almost always get I thought this was a wayfinding signage plan or a downtown master plan. I thought we were going to change the entire downtown or the main street. I thought we were going to, you know, completely change everything. That is not what a comprehensive plan is. This is sort of an overarching document that will help then guide those future master plans down the road. Yes.
So isn't there an existing comprehensive plan for Elbert County? And what role does that have in our plan? Do we look at the old one and say we'd like to change this, or how does that old plan work with this?
That is a great question. Yes, so right now Elbert County does have a comprehensive plan, and every 10 or so years, each municipality, each county is required to update that comprehensive plan. So revisiting those vision and goals within that comp plan is something that we'll be doing. And I urge each and every one of you to read the existing comprehensive plan, pick out pieces of it that you like, pieces of it that you do not like. Even if it's just, I don't like the way it looks, I don't like the way the document reads. Anything in that nature will help us and help our team as we start to write this.
You might send us.
Absolutely, yep. So quick roles and responsibilities. The community and the steering committee is sort of the nucleus, the heart of this comprehensive plan. You all will lead the effort. We're just here merely to provide the technical experience and expertise to help you all. I've said this a million times, and I know Inez is probably tired of hearing about it, but this is not my plan. This is not Kimley Horn's plan. This is not any one of our consultants' plan. This is your all's plan. We are just here to provide guidance and provide recommendations to county staff and then to ultimately the residents. So we want you all to feel empowered to speak up, voice your opinions, no matter how brash or unrealistic you may think it is. We would love to hear it because it's something that will help us sort of guide this process. And then as the heart, we have three essentially tiers or sort of spokes to this wheel. The first one is the county staff. We are supporting county staff throughout this process. And then the next one is Planning Commission. So we essentially guide Planning Commission, and then Planning Commission essentially guides the Board of County Commissioners. The board will essentially be the voting body on this plan, and they will be ultimately the adopting party for this plan. But if we do our jobs correctly, then we're going to reflect exactly what you all want. And I hope that each and every one of you don't get everything that you would like, and we do a perfect job at sort of meeting in the middle and compromising on everyone's wishes, because if one person gets what they want, I don't think we did our job as a steering committee. So I urge you all to challenge one another as we go through this process, and just do it in a positive way. So a quick project schedule, typically comp plans take anywhere from 12 months to 24 months, depending on the jurisdiction, the population size, and the expansiveness or the nature of the plan itself. For this process, we are going to be on a pretty quick timeline, so 11 months, and you all may feel some pressure from us as we get into this. I apologize up front, but we will need you all to sort of help us in answering questions and reviewing documents and providing feedback so we can keep this train on the tracks.
Is the current plan the one that's dated April 1, 2018? They're calling it a comprehensive plan update?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You said in the previous slide, you can go back to that. You're citing statute as of 2022. My knowledge is that turn your mic on. Oh, sorry. Got my voice carried. You're citing statute as 2022. I follow this loosely at the Capitol. I thought there were some revisions made in the last 3 or 4 years that deal with affordable housing. Is that not the case? I thought comprehensive plans had to have a section for affordable housing.
So it all depends on the nature of the municipality. If the municipality has a certain population threshold and a growth threshold, and I don't believe Elbert County meets that threshold for, so you're referencing the housing needs assessment, I assume, which is not affordable housing. That may be a curse word to some folks, but the housing needs assessment is an assessment of the needs for new housing and current housing in the municipality, and I don't believe Elbert County fits within that.
We can double check on that, but typically, yeah, it's a separate document, the housing needs assessment, and then that's followed by a housing action plan. So those are two separate documents. They can influence the comp plan. There will be a housing chapter to it that just focuses on housing within the county, and that's got its own policies and strategies, but they don't have to go at the same time. So they're separate.
And what we will do is essentially lay the groundwork and the framework for housing, and then the housing needs assessment and housing action plan is not part of our scope for the comp plan, but like Inez said, it can come quickly after. And then a quick schedule for the community engagement. We will be involving the Planning Commission and Board of County Commissioners throughout this process. We are also hosting some engagement events to reach out to the general public. That includes the website and survey, which is currently out. We're going to pass these flyers around. It has a link to the survey. If you all haven't already taken it, we urge you all to take it, please. And then also provide some information on the website of where we're at in the process and where we're going to be hosting our next community engagement event. And then the steering committee working sessions here today, we'll have various working sessions throughout this process. It'll span, I think, over the next couple months, and they will be variations of in-person and virtual. Yes. So he asked if we started work 3 months ago, and that is correct. We did a quick existing conditions analysis, demographics analysis, and then started on the community engagement materials. So boards, survey, website, the logo, really just groundwork to help facilitate these meetings, and then also the community engagement events.
You mentioned, if I heard you correctly a few minutes ago, that Elbert County doesn't qualify to have the housing component a piece of this. What is the qualifications of?
I believe it's a percentage of growth over year, and then it's a total population. I think there's 4 buckets in which it falls in, and we can double check and send out a follow up for you all.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know what the dynamics are. Are we heading that direction? At what pace are we heading that direction? What are the parameters?
I believe it's 7,000, I want to say 7,000 population growth year over year.
Well, we can double check and send you the totally factually correct information.
Okay. Thank you.
And so these recommendations come from DOLA, so the Department of Local Affairs, and DOLA sets these, they're not requirements, they're recommendations, and it's up to the municipality to adhere to those recommendations or not, depending on their dynamics.
Are we talking county or municipality? You keep saying municipality.
Jurisdiction.
Okay, because I thought that bill had both county and municipality, so, okay.
Right.
Quick question. This is Chris Hatton again. So a couple things. Can we get a copy of this PowerPoint or any of the documents that you propose, that you provide, and preferably in advance? I know that may be difficult, and then the second question is, as a committee, do we have battery limits that we have to work within? Can we talk to the general community and share what's going on here? Are we under any restrictions, anything like that? And how do we kind of navigate in that space?
So to answer your question, yes, for future meetings, we'll be providing materials. We'll try to give you a week in advance to review and provide questions. And then also to answer your next question, yes, we actually encourage you all to go out to your communities, be the champions of this plan. As consultants, as county staff, we can only do so much in such a large county. And so we're asking you all to really take the lead in updating your partners, updating your community about events, and run things by them. For these steering committee meetings, we want these to be sort of focused. We certainly do not want these to devolve into debates going back and forth, because then we don't feel like we're going to get much out of it. We want these to be very focused, so when we ask you all questions and provide materials, and then you review those, we come to these meetings, and it's a very targeted, very focused meeting, because we only have an hour.
Okay, thank you.
So I will jump in at this point. I'm just going to wrap up kind of the information that we were giving you on the community survey. Hopefully you had already heard about it before this meeting, but if not, we have it available right now. It's open until September 5th, and I'll make sure that with all of the materials that we send out to you after this meeting, that we include the flyer. So if you want to print it, post it anywhere, any social media, send it out to any groups, neighborhood groups, please do. We really appreciate it. We're right now at an impressive 242 responses in 4 days. So we want to keep the momentum going. 242. Yep, probably 244 now. But yes, we want to keep the momentum going, and we want to make sure that we're reaching all segments of the county. So the first couple of questions are demographics in terms of, are you a resident, are you a visitor or business owner, what's your connection to the county? And if you live in the county, where do you live? So that way we can track to see where the survey's making its way through, and if there's any areas that aren't getting it, how can we push it out to those areas? We want the survey to really be a reflection of the county's voice. So that is that on the survey. We will now be going into a activity. If you'll take your phones out and go to menti.com. Can I close this? Yep, iPad, phones. The iPad, if you don't have Wi-Fi on it, that might be a problem because it's online. Okay, cool.
So menti.com.
And the code is at the top. It's really small, so it's 583515. Let me know if anybody needs it again. Yeah, it's.
Can you go back to the other slide that had it?
It's not the same one, unfortunately. 69583515. Is everybody signed in? Good? Okay, awesome. So we'll have a number of slides here that we'll go through. These are questions that are going to help us with helping get your ideas and thoughts on different topics for the vision and for the goals of the comp plan. Both are really important. They lay the foundation for the entire document. They'll help guide how we formulate the land use plan, as well as the strategies and policies. And so we want to make sure that the vision we establish for the plan is reflective of what we hear from you all. We're also asking the community similar questions at events and through the survey, and everything will be compiled together to come up with the one vision and the different goals per topic of the plan. So with the first one here, we want to know in one word, how would you describe Elbert County? And you should be able to submit a few responses, at least 5, I think. And then you can, if you see a word up on here that you agree with, you can type it in again, yep, and it'll keep populating. And we'll give you a few minutes for each. Make sure that you have as much as you can down on here. Rural as the biggest one. It looks like family, open, following closely behind, desirable, friendly, family, respectful, beautiful. Is everybody good accessing it? No issues? Just checking. Exurbia. Oh, near suburbia? Exurbia? It's Exurbia? Yeah.
Let's make sure Jim got on. He had stepped out.
Yep.
Will this save? Will you all have?
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what I want to make sure it's populating as much.
Jim, were you able to join the Minty? Perfect. Oh, I still see a lot of typing.
Unless everyone is texting.
This is so cool.
All right, can I move on to the next one, or is anybody mid-thoughts or typing? Give it a minute. All right, okay.
Conservative made a big jump.
All right, so the next one, what do you value most about living or working in Elbert County? And so this one is going to be an open prompt response, so you can type in a little bit more. I recommend you still keep it kind of short, not too long, but yeah, feel free to jot your thoughts down. You'll be able to put in a few submissions, and then once submissions start to populate, you can upvote other people's submissions if you agree with them. Privacy. Got neighborly, being a conservative county with affordable housing and friendly people, conservative values, friendly people, small town feel. We've heard that quite a lot already. See it in the survey. The undeveloped rural nature of the county. And like I said, if you see other ones that you agree with or that you like, you don't need to retype in the same thing. You should be able to upvote them, and I think like a little thumbs up should pop up on them. Another one, low crime, strength of the county, safety, how great of a place is this to raise a family. That is also actually a question we have in the survey, asking people to rank their thoughts on if Elbert County is a good place to raise a family. So we'll hear more on that at the end of the survey. Clean air and water, open, not crowded. Community events, absolutely. Rolling hills, open space between neighborhoods. Again, raise a family. Space around me. So again, yep, everybody's loving how open the county is. Neighbors that are conservative, an ability to see and participate in an agricultural community. Insular nature, away from crime and gross high-density development. Mountain views, some very, very beautiful views. Intelligent voters, small town where everyone knows one another, safe, family-friendly, good values, quality of life.
And I think it would help us when you all are done if you could put your phone down. And so we'll sort of keep an eye out. If you all are typing, keep typing away, just to prompt us to go to the next one.
I think we've got a good amount of responses here, so we'll get moving unless anybody is mid-thoughts. Give you 1 minute. So this next one is, what do you value most about living in Elbert County? Yep, we did just do that one. Why? Sorry, things are gonna pop up on your phone. I just wanna make sure. Okay. All right, so the next one, rank what should be the county's top priorities when planning for the future. So we've got 5 options here. Expanding housing and infrastructure to support growth, protecting open space, farmland, and natural resources, enhancing public services and community well-being, promoting economic development and job creation, and preserving the county's unique identity and heritage. So based on these, rank what you think should be 1 through 5, 1 being the top priority, 5 being the lowest one, and then
So as a team, we developed these questions based on some initial feedback from the Board of County Commissioners.
and just general range of ideas as well. So whether it's pro-growth, anti-growth, we're trying to get the whole spectrum. And so, yeah, as people start to enter in their responses, things should be moving around. Right now, number 1 matches the previous slide, not surprisingly. So protecting open space, farmland, and natural resources. It looks like we've got about 6 out of 15 responses in. So
what if we don't agree with some of these?
Then I would rank those at the very lowest.
No, you have to.
If I didn't agree with them, I didn't vote for them. So that's the way I would take it. If I didn't agree with them, I didn't vote for them.
That's what I'm saying. We can only vote for 3 if we want.
I think so.
I did.
You did? That worked? Okay. I didn't know if you actually had to select all 5 or not. Okay. All right, 11 out of 15.
We're waiting on, I think, 2 more. Is everyone good to move on?
Okay. All right, so what role should community identity play in future developments? It should guide all planning decisions. It should be considered but not limit innovation. It's less important than economic and infrastructure needs, and it should evolve naturally with growth and change. This one's multiple choice, so you should be able to pick however many you agree with.
Well, we can't all agree on everything. What does that say? It should
There wouldn't be a point to a steering committee if we all agreed.
Well, only one response is in yet.
Oh,
so.
okay. I was like, oh, my, we all agree.
So this is multiple choice. You can select as many or as few as you would like.
So 75 for it should guide all planning decisions. Oh, big jump in it should evolve naturally with growth and change. Some growth for it should be considered but not limit innovation. So far, our lowest one is that community identity is less important than economic and infrastructure needs. We've got 12 out of 15 responses. I think it looks like most, yeah.
Is there a way to get this list again so we can share it with others for input?
Others,
Well, people we talk to.
this survey, this
Well, just
this
the
tool.
questions in general, not necessarily the survey.
Oh, we could send out the questions.
That'd be fantastic.
And we can, yeah, we can also send out the results. So if you would like to take the results,
Yeah, both would be great.
yeah, print them out and
Yeah, very much, yeah.
yeah, and ask folks if they agree with the results.
Yeah.
That would be great to hear from. Yeah.
All right, we'll move on to the next one. So I believe this might be the last vision one, and then we'll get into some goals. But rank what kind of legacy this comprehensive plan should leave. So a roadmap for responsible growth and development, a commitment to environmental stewardship, a stronger, more connected community, a model for inclusive and equitable planning, and which ones have I not read? Preserved and celebrated local heritage. I think that was all of them. Yeah. It's a race. So the top two, the top one now, a roadmap for responsible growth and development. Then second, a stronger, more connected community. And then third, a preserved and celebrated local heritage. All right, we've got 11 out of 15. And we'll have screenshots of these afterwards, yeah. All right, so go ahead and move on. Oh, someone just submitted it. It still went in, don't worry. Just now, describe your vision for the future of Elbert County. This is the last vision question. This one is open-ended, so asking you to think about the future and envision, tell us what you would like the county to look like over the next 10, 20 years.
Yes. Yes.
You will have you'll have more, you'll have more time to think more deeply about it, but
Yeah, I'm
this
somewhat
is,
serious about it. I mean, it's a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction, and we're doing a plan that's going to last for the next 20 years, and you're in 30 seconds asking my vision for the future of Elbert County, and
you're gonna have so many opportunities to tell us more about that between, this is really just the start, and then the question comes back with the survey, and then you're also more than welcome and even encouraged to email us if with any of our meetings, items we go over, if you have thoughts,
it just
ideas.
feels a little rushed, that's all. Thanks.
And I think throughout this process, these are questions that we are just now asking, and we're going to print these out, send these out to you all. And if you could take the next month, 2 months, to sit down, type out some extensive thoughts, and to give you all a little bit more time to think about it, that would be really helpful for us.
I guess it would have been helpful in hindsight that you would have given these ahead of time, that we could have talked to our neighbors and thought to my family, and to have a thoughtful then versus just this I feel like we're doing impulse survey monkey research, and I'm not sure that's the best way to have a comprehensive plan. And I know we're just starting, but it would have been helpful, I think, to have these beforehand to do thoughtful responses. Thanks.
I would just add that the whole plan is answering this question, right? The whole 8 months, 10 months, whatever, is really answering this question. There is some value in us getting some words, right? Kind of first things that come to mind to build on as we go forward. So please know it's not at all like, okay, this is it, we're done, we've figured it out. That's certainly not it at all. So, but some of the things that first come to your mind are very helpful for us, especially with word choice moving forward.
One of the nice things about doing a Menti survey like this, and I do them in my work, is when you get sort of a quick answer like this, you can come back to it as you go through the process and re-baseline, and it's interesting to see how attitudes and beliefs and whatever shift with people contributing and receiving more information. So there's sort of a mapping of how this process goes as well. Just my personal experience.
We haven't been given the map. I guess that's my, if we knew what this map was, I'd agree with you, but we're not, this is like the first it's been dropped on us. We really haven't been given a map.
All right, so it looks like responses are coming through. Elbert County can become known as the rural lifestyle alternative in the Denver metro area. We've got a couple on limiting growth, planned growth, maintain a rural environment, passing on the quality of life we currently enjoy for future generations. That's a topic that we also ask in the survey. What do you think about the quality of life and how that has changed since you have experienced throughout your life here, or since you've moved here? Has it improved? Has it worsened? We'd like to know that. Compatible between rural and growth, heritage, smart development. To grow with responsibility, taking into account open space, water, infrastructure, housing for future businesses and families. Yeah, absolutely. And the comp plan will go over all of those topics. All right, so we've got 11 out of 15 responses in. One more just came through. Quality schools. Yeah. I think you should still be able to submit as I move on or come back. All right, now on to the goals. So like I said earlier, there will be numerous goals throughout the comp plan, and they all address different topics: land use, housing, transportation, infrastructure, recreation and open space. It addresses everything. And so these next questions will help kind of guide us, give us an idea of where you're leaning on some of these topics for us to be able to set. With the next meeting, we will come back with the vision for the plan and with different goals, and we'll get some of your thoughts and feedback on that. So this is where your input helps. So here we've got some responses populating. Looks like the first one is encourage smart growth strategies that guide development to specific areas while protecting open space and heritage. And then the next one just went up to 30, promote community-driven design standards that ensure new development reflects local character. And this is a pretty important question because as we all know, the county is growing quite a lot in certain areas, but it's really important, as we've been hearing from you all and from the community and just across the board, that character is what makes the county, the place that so many people want to call home. And so we want to make sure that that's being preserved. So how are we balancing different pressures from different areas?
Can I interject real quick with the, just talking about, because I've seen it come up several times. This is food for thought going forward with the open spaces, because my understanding is the county really doesn't own a whole lot of open space. There's really not a whole lot of open space to protect or be available for. So what are we talking about? Going forward, what are we talking about when we're talking about that?
So you're correct that the county doesn't have a lot now, but that could certainly change, right? The comp plan could, recommend that some new requirements be put in place. It could recommend, it could recommend that the county do an open space preservation plan, right? And that the county invest in buying and preserving certain land. And so, following a plan and a map and things like that. So it could. And so I think that's the type of guidance we're really looking for. And you're right, it's a good distinction that sometimes, and I know this is none of you all, but sometimes people think that just undeveloped land is open space, right? And it's really not, right? Because it could change at any time, as opposed to preserved open space that will remain open space through some type of conservation easement or some other mechanism to do that. So.
All right. We'll move on to the next one. I'll try to chat a little bit less and go a little faster time-wise. But what should be the county's primary goal for land use and development? So you're going to see the next few questions are going to be the same exact one, but for different topics. So this one is land use and development. You will have one on housing, economic development, capital improvements, and I just skipped one, environment.
Fundamentally, your question that relates to a balanced approach to all of the above is diametrically opposed to some of the concepts that are in each one of the categories. So it becomes something that you really kind of can't choose because you can't balance that without truly planning and separating out the nature of the county itself.
That is a very interesting, just from start to finish thought process, because I don't think I disagree with you in any way. But there's ways that we can put in safeguards to sort of buffer a little bit. And if we can identify certain aspects of growth that are more important to the community than others.
I would have called it a truly planned county, truly planned community that incorporates the heart and soul of what we're trying to accomplish with those 6 elements or 7 elements. Anyway, just point of view.
All right, we've got 12 in. We'll move on to the next one. So this one is just housing related. So what should be the county's top housing goal? Are we looking to increase affordable housing options? Encourage diverse housing types? When we think about diverse housing types, also think about diversity in terms of the cost. So for example, ADUs are typically paired with being more affordable, good option for, we can call them in-law units, options that can be more affordable than single family. Are we looking to preserve existing neighborhoods and housing stock as a priority? Support housing near jobs and services? Or all of the above?
Attainable. Yeah. Based on current market conditions, based on current median household income. We're not talking about Section 8. Yeah.
We were just talking about the definition for the first one, increasing affordable housing options. Affordable housing here in this sense is not Section 8 housing. It's attainable housing. So in comparison to the county's demographics for income, where does housing cost fall there? All right, we've got 13 in. Move on to the next one. Same question, but for the environmental. So what should be the county's top environmental goal? Is it to protect open spaces, parks, natural habitats? Expand that? Promote renewable energy and energy efficiency? Prepare for climate change and natural hazards? Or integrate environmental goals into all planning decisions.
You don't mention water, that's pretty interesting.
Where would you rank water? Top priority? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, and I'll move on to the next one. So, capital improvements. What should be the county's top capital improvements? Upgrades and maintain essential infrastructure like roads, bridges, water and sewer in rural and underserved areas. Invest in transportation improvements. Expand broadband and utility access. Prioritize capital projects that enhance public safety, emergency services, and community resilience. And develop a long-term capital improvement strategy that balances growth, equity, and fiscal responsibility. And as just a reminder too, and like we were just talking with the water missing on the previous one, we'll send you all the questions, and please feel free to reach out to us if there's any more that you would add as well.
And I'm taking notes as well, so if something does pop up, let me know, and I can jot it down if something is important or you don't see it worded in the way that you would like it to be worded. Just let me know.
All right, so we're at
When I get home, can I print up this results off?
Yeah, so we're gonna email the results. It'll come as a PDF, and you can see sort of front to back what the results are.
Okay, so that is the end of our Menti activity. So we will jump back into the presentation. I will skip ahead. I'll skip one slide and we can come back to it afterwards, but we did want to talk about the schedule for these meetings moving forward. So we have our meeting today, and then we have 8 meetings in total. 3 of them are planned to be in person, so we will be meeting here again in person. And all of our meetings, except for one, are planned from 5 to 6 p.m. We do have on November 13th meetings planned, and so for that one, the idea is we will divide up into smaller groups to get more like focused, small group conversation on the implementation plan of the comp plan. And so once we get closer to that date, we'll send out polls to find out when works best for you all to meet. And we'll probably have maybe about 3 groups meeting in person here. And so we'll get to that a little bit further down the line. But the idea here with the schedule is to have next meeting, we'll go over vision and goals again. Then we will go over the future land use plan. For 2 meetings, we'll have the infrastructure and capital improvement plan for 2 meetings, and then we will have the implementation plan and then wrap up. And one of the things that I had mentioned on the welcome email sent out to you all was that we recognize this is a fast-paced process. We have, it's going to be fast-paced, and we recognize that the project, you know, we've got to meet the deadline that the Board of County Commissioners wants us to meet, and so we ask that you try to attend as many meetings as you're able to, and if you can't, to please let us know. If there's a general consensus that a certain date and time doesn't work, then we can take another look at that. But we also encourage you all to email us. We will be sending out all the materials about a week in advance. We'll make sure that you have also the presentations after the meetings and any other items that, like we went through today, that you've requested. And to please, as thoughts and ideas come up, to reach out to us. We'll take note of everything and make sure that that's all accounted for.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. And as we send this out, like Inez said, if one of these dates does not work for you, please let us know as soon as possible. We understand schedules change, things come up. So as things change in your personal schedule, please let us know as soon as possible, and we'll try to accommodate as much as we can.
And then just one more thing. So the next meeting is virtually. So for that, we will send out Teams links for you all. And so same thing as with this meeting, I'll send out an email, agenda, any other materials. And then separately also, you'll get a calendar invitation that will have the link for you to join the meeting.
Excuse me, I brought this up to Blake before. Can we do hybrids? I don't get good video at my ranch. I've tried. CenturyLink says I get the speed and I don't get the speed. I'm not going to submit to Elon Musk. So I just wondered, can we have hybrid? Can we have meetings here? I don't know where to go if I don't come here.
Sure, if that's a concern, we can work on figuring that out. It's not currently planned that way, but absolutely, if that's a need, yeah, we'll work on that to see how the best to handle that, for sure. I'm just saying it that way because we need to coordinate AV and all the people and all that, but we can certainly follow up with an option. Yeah, if that's a need. Does anyone else prefer to meet here, even if some of your colleagues are online? Stephen, maybe you and me. Okay, sure. We'll explore that and follow up with options before the next meeting.
If you don't allow it, it's going to be more disruptive if people freeze up all the time.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, absolutely. So, and before we finalize, I would just remind everyone about, we do have the comprehensive plan website. It's elbertcountycomprehensiveplan.com, right? So please take a look at it, talk about it, use your email list, tell your friends about the survey. We would love to have as many results of that survey as possible, right? And that does give everyone a little bit more of a chance to kind of think about it and provide some answers. And then you all will have the opportunity, right, to see those results and really build on that to see, you know, where does the community want to go in the future. So we would encourage you to please help us spread that word. We will be at the fair this weekend. So if you're there on Saturday, please stop by and say hello to us. We're going to be talking with the community about this process and about the survey, answering questions and things like that. So the first of a variety of events.
And over the next few months, just to wrap up, if any thoughts come to your mind, if during one of the meetings, if you disagreed with something and you didn't feel comfortable saying it in front of the entire group, please email me. If it's emailed to me, you can have my absolute confidence that it won't be shared amongst the group. And I just want to make sure that this is a proactive approach, and also that we're learning. So a few items, if you said, hey, you didn't have water on there, we're going to take every steering committee as a learning experience going through, and so we can respond to you all and your all's needs. So if anything does come up, if you have any disagreements, or if you'd like us to do something different, please let us know. We would love to hear it. And thank you again for joining. I know you all have busy schedules, and this is not the most exciting thing to do during the week. So thank you.
Thank you, and well done.
Thank you for attending from Australia.
You got it.
Thank you, Chris.
Cheers. Cheers, mate.